The 24,000 volunteers mobilized for a decisive...
We're here with MNG Associate Editor Verashni Pillay to look back at the 2014 elections and also look forward to what the next few weeks hold and even the next 5 years. So let's just start off by looking at how the ANC performed in these elections.
Well, Lauren, as you know, the ANC got about 62% of the vote, and that is good news for the ANC, given all the criticism they faced ahead of these elections. As you know, there was quite a lot of pondering and lots of pundits wondering if they were going to fall below that magical 60% mark. They did not. However, compared to previous results, not so good, down 4% from last election, 2009, where they got 66%. And under Thabo Mbeki, the party got as high as 69%. So compared to its previous success, not as good as it could have hoped to be.
Let's move now to the EFF, which is really a new kid on the block. They had about 8 months to go in the lead up to the election to garner support and won about 6% of the vote.
Ahead of the elections, polls were putting the EFF support at about 5%. So it was above what was expected. It was far below what they were promising. They were promising to govern, but a lot of people took that with a big pinch of salt. It's very difficult to unseat the ANC in just one election. But Malema himself admitted that the party did quite poorly in rural areas, and he says that they'll have to work really hard on building their structures in the next few years to really consolidate their support across the country if they want to not be another COPE, as people keep imagining and threatening them with, and to really consolidate and grow their party in South Africa.
Having mentioned COPE, that was one of the minority parties that really tanked this year. Let's talk a little bit about their performance.
Well, it was pretty abysmal, as you could see. COPE was the success party of the last election. He got over 7% of the vote. This time, 0.67% of the vote. So that was 30 seats in Parliament down to 3 seats now. As you can imagine, a big blow for the party.
Also on minority parties, we had Gang, which I think perhaps had high hopes for some, and was really a no-show in these elections.
Yeah, as you can see with a lot of the minority parties, there's a continuing trend. Gang is a bit of an outlier because it's a new party, but a lot of the old smaller parties like the Freedom Front Plus, the ACDP, the PAC didn't do so well, particularly the PAC and ACDP. It hasn't been a good story for small parties. Some of them have held steady, but others not so much. Now, Gang, on the other hand, as we saw, they cost themselves a lot of support with a botched kind of partnership with the DA that just went sour so quickly. A lot of people, I felt, couldn't trust Mampela's party after they saw how badly their own organization was being run.
While there were some minority parties that performed very poorly, there were some unexpected ones that did well. The NFP, for one, which seems to have taken some of the support from the IFP, and also the unknown African Independent Congress, AIC, which was well placed on the ballot just above the ANC with similar colours, and they didn't take kindly to suggestions that people voted for them by accident.
They did not take kindly to that is true, but it's hard to find any other explanation. I mean, this is a party that was fair enough, started a while ago, 2005, but has jumped from 10 seats in a municipality to 3 national seats. Now, that is unaccounted for jump for a party we've never heard of. They got more than Gang, which had a lot more hype. NFP, I think we all saw that coming. They've been growing rapidly. I mean, this is a woman who broke away from the IFP, where she was the national chairperson, in 2011 and went on to win 10% of KwaZulu-Natal's vote a few months later in the local government elections. She's the mayor of Zululand, a very respected mayor, has had unqualified audits for a long time for where she governs. So she's an impressive figure in many ways. So we expected her to do well, and she did do well.
Let's look forward now to the next couple of weeks. We've got a little bit of a lull and then a busy time with the inauguration and so forth. What's coming up?
Well, as you said, a bit of a lull, and then on the 21st of May, the 5th Democratic National Assembly will reconvene with our new parliamentarians. They will be sworn in, and then the House will choose its Speaker and Deputy Speaker and will elect the President of the Republic. With the ANC at 62%, that's going to be Jacob Zuma. And then shortly after that, he will be inaugurated, 24th of May. And the day after that, or very soon after, we can expect him to announce his new cabinet.
Do we have any idea of what we can expect from the new cabinet?
There's been a couple of reports. The Mail and Guardian have reported it first that the presidency is actually going to cut down the number of ministries. Now, there was a lot of controversy about how much the executive grew under Zuma. I think there were about 28 departments under Mbeki. It grew to about 35 under Zuma. So we're going to see some of the departments being combined. Then there'll be a few new ministries, like the Ministry for Small Business. Now, this is Zuma's second term. He's going to want to leave a legacy. He's going to want to close the loopholes and kind of protect his party from attacks from the new left that will emerge in the 2019 election under NUMSA. So he's going to be working all out to make his executive look a lot more admirable to the public. You know, better service delivery, better leaders, and less waste and less corruption, hopefully.
So are we really expecting more from President Zuma? Do we feel like he may step up to the plate in the next 5 years?
I think all indications point that he's going to do so because he owes less people. In his first term of office, he had a lot of debts to pay politically in terms of people who had gotten him there in a very bruising battle with former President Thabo Mbeki. This time round, he can actually afford to offend a few more people. He can afford to be a bit more brutal. What we saw in those first few years of his first term, where he was very reluctant to kind of make any kind of decisions that offended anyone. He had too many centers of power when it came to economic policy. Now he's kind of come out already and said, guess what? The National Development Plan is the way we're going. Sorry, trade union, sorry, left, this is what we're doing. So let's hope to see more of that decisiveness, and I think that will stand our country in better stead.